in through this door, I guess. When is it?
Sure.
It's rain. Wow.
There are so many different approaches to treating autistic children. I mean, is there any one right way?
Well, there are ways that have been proven to be more successful, and what we're doing today has been proven to be successful over 20 years of practice and research.
Oh, Seba, you're making a beautiful mess.
There's probably no one right way, but there's an accepted approach that has been successful here and elsewhere, and that's what we're applying here.
For real, I love it.
Oh, you'd like some more?
19-year-old Tito Mukhopadhyay coming home from school, something that would have been unthinkable just a few years ago.
Everything is in order. Okay.
Each arrival is a ritual. Tito sets the house in order, and only then can bear to sit. Once considered mentally retarded, Tito's autistic mind can be poetic and profound.
How was your day?
He can barely speak, but he learned to type.
It was like a floating kangaroo that kept itself invisible. That was your day like, okay? You hold that, and I'll take your pencil.
His mother, Soma, gave up a career in chemistry to teach Tito to communicate. He was born in India, and by the age of 3, it was clear something was wrong. Doctors there said Tito was beyond hope.
Tito used to stare at the calendars, and then what he would do is bring a book and then start comparing the numbers. And then I knew that he's making some sort of connection. And then I took the calendar and I told Tito, this is 1, this is 2. Touch 1, he touched 1. Then I said, Tito, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. And he touched 3. This was when he was 3.5 years old.
At the age of 10, Tito and his mother came to the United States, brought here by an organization that had heard about his amazing progress and wanted to study it. Eventually, Soma was asked to teach others her technique.
When you sit up, you do so well.
It can be painful to watch, but the miracle of Tito started with something as wrenching as this.
Questions from the story? Comprehension.
Soma calls her method rapid prompting, and although it has not been tested scientifically, more and more parents are coming to this center in Austin, hoping for a breakthrough.
So the fox came to the crow and told the crow, "Crow, crow, can you sing a song?" So what did the fox ask the crow to do? Sing or fly away? You tell me. Sing or fly away? What did the fox ask the crow to do? Sing, yes. I don't see the child as an autistic person. I don't see the label at all. I see the child as a person. And just as I would talk to any person, I would talk to a child. Because the world is not going to talk to them in a very slow way. The world is going to talk to them in a fast way.
The therapy does move quickly. At times it seems almost harsh. No good jobs or high fives and smiles here. Soma is unapologetic about that. It works, she says. It's that simple.
Let me see who teaches us. Oh, there's a teacher teaches us. Okay.
Autistic children do things to self-stimulate, also called stimming. Unlike other therapies, Soma does not try to stop the stimming. Instead, she says her relentless rapid prompting replaces the self-stimming and unlocks the mind, even for a split second.
M-A-T-H. Now I will do math. Okay, let's do math.
10-year-old Andrew Ray has been working with Soma for 3 years. Other behavioral therapies didn't work for Andrew. His family is planning to move across the country to Texas so he can have more time with Soma.
It's, like I said, enabled him to be able to go from barely being able to communicate his wants and needs to, commenting on what's going on in politics.
I'll take that as A. Yes, I support Democrats, okay?
So what are your hopes for Andrew?
To have a meaningful and as independent as he can life, where he's happy, where he has, a job and is a real part of the community, because unfortunately, that's really not the case.
She's right, it isn't the case, but at the Halo Center where Soma teaches, people believe a life with autism need not be a life of despair.
T-I-R.
Every autistic child in this room reveals a mind that ticks. Most are able to attend mainstream schools. In this extraordinary group session, Soma prompts them as they make jokes, even tease each other about why they stim. One says he would have been a pilot if he weren't autistic. Another, a stockbroker. All of them have dreams.
Designer, okay?
A large percentage of autistic children will never speak, but Soma believes if she can teach them to spell and eventually type, the door is open for them in the same way it is for Tito. With the tireless teaching of his mother, Tito continues to write about what it's like to be autistic and the challenges he faces now.
How has your life changed now that you can communicate?
Each response agonizing but true. An autistic mind unlocked by the prompting and perseverance of a mother and son, teacher and student.
I can't say whether I am happy or not, because happiness is a state of my mind. So sometimes I think I'm happy, other times it is hollowness.
Wow. 19 years to learn this much, and plenty more still ahead.
Blake is going to be 20 in April. He's diagnosed with autism at the age of 2.5. Blake is what you would consider severely autistic. It's taken hundreds of trials here at the Marcus Institute for them to teach him simple daily living skills. At 19, has just this year started learning how to communicate with photos, with pictures. To discriminate between two pictures was a huge hurdle for him. He understood if you gave someone a picture, you received something, usually a piece of food.
Good job.
I don't think I've ever given up hope.
Keep working.
Yay!
Sarah Hewitt was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome 4.5 years ago at the age of 25.
It's been really good meeting other people with AS and sort of realising that they're just as normal as I think I am.
Sarah is a senior technical consultant at British Telecom, supervising a team of 12. She deals directly with customers, but her condition, which makes social interaction more difficult, does not hold her back. British charity Prospects has given her the confidence to find work and support from her employer.
I find it a very difficult thing to explain to somebody what AS is and how it affects things, because although I've only known about it for 4.5 years, I've always had it, so I've always been that way.
The London manager of Prospects explains how many highly intelligent applicants with autism or Asperger's fall at the first hurdle, the interview.
Hypothetical questions are very difficult for a lot of our clients. So many interview questions, if you think about it, phrased in terms of what would you do in the situation if, and it's very difficult for them to put themselves in the position of a person that might be happening to.
While those with Asperger's may struggle with communication and understanding social nuances, they generally possess a higher level of systematic skills, meaning Sarah thrives at the technical aspect of her job.
Yeah, it doesn't need to see a VPN at all.
Prospects talked to some of Sarah's colleagues to explain the key differences of how those with Asperger's or autism perceive things differently.
Some of the analogies they use, which were very helpful, were things like if you say to somebody with Asperger's, you need to pull your socks up, they will literally think that they need to pull their socks up. And just knowing that that sort of literal understanding of things meant that when you're talking to them, when you have a conversation with them, you just take a little second to think about what it is you say.
All combined, Sarah has the support she needs, BT has the technical ability it needs. But it has been hard work for Sarah to reach this level of acceptance.
I had a lot of problems with just sort of wanting to be part of groups and never actually making it. And yeah, I sort of immersed myself in music for most of that time. I had lots of behavioural problems, from the age of about 12 onwards, and saw lots of psychologists and psychiatrists, and they all came back with the same conclusion, that it was just depression, and I had lots of all sorts of different tablets.
Sarah's mother thought she was autistic when she was 2. Her doctor disagreed. And that's where Professor Simon Baron-Cohen comes in. He's been researching autism for 25 years and is behind a widely used test for early diagnosis.